Hello there, faithful few.
And welcome back to the Adventures.
We're kind of in the dark about this new park. So we left Indiana this morning and we headed west, went out through Illinois all the way across, crossed the Mississippi River and went into St. Louis, and then took a left and headed out of the city south into Missouri. And we ended up at a new place for us called Hawn State Park. We are actually here for our 11th ever backpacking endeavor. We're going to be doing that tomorrow, and we also have some guest hikers that are going to be hiking with us for the first time. But while we're here, we're also going to be testing out a lot of that new gear for 2022, and so we'll be stopping here and there to show you how those pieces of equipment and gear have been working for us while we're using it out here for the first time. We didn't have any trouble finding the park. We rolled right in, got our camp set up with the Gazelle T8 and the Max shelter, and just kind of figured out what the best way was going to be to wire everything and get the ICE-Co working. And so we're all set up now, just waiting on our guests to arrive, and then we will just continue on with our evening and get ready for the 11th ever backpacking endeavor. Well, you faithful few, it's been a long day of traveling. Long day of putting up gear, trying to stay dry, not getting a whole lot of videos either. Lo siento, we are on the eve of our 11th ever backpacking endeavor, which shall be tomorrow. So we're just going to enjoy the night in our base camp here in the Gazelle T8. Kids have been playing some card games. Rugged Mister wants to be the center of attention, as usual. Rugged Mama's already asleep. Wrap it up here and get to bed. We'll see y'all in the morning. Well, good morning, ye faithful few. It is a beautiful morning here at Hawn State Park. And when I say beautiful, I just mean it's not raining.
Yeah.
Because it's a little chilly, if you couldn't tell, and it's still a little bit wet out, but it's not raining currently, and hopefully we will have no rain for the rest of today. This video is kind of like a Camp Chronicle number 4 a little bit, because we've set up a base camp here at Hawn State Park because they have both a normal camping area and a backcountry camping area. So we get to use both. So Rugged Mama's gonna hold the base camp down for us while we go out on our backpacking trip. Well, this is the creek by our campsite. I think it's called Pickle Creek, which means it's Rugged Mountain Sister's favorite. That's interesting. I don't know if you can tell, but the water is flowing towards us. But then there's this little offshoot here, and the water's flowing in it. It's like it's flowing backwards a little bit through there. Yeah, it like turns around that log, heads down there, and goes around that big mound of dirt, and pops out over there and continues on downstream. Interesting. But as I mentioned last night, one of the things we're doing here is testing out all that new gear that I showed you in the new gear for 2022 video. So we're gonna take a look at a couple of those items and see how they're performing so far. And there's base camp right there. We've got the Gazelle T8, a little bit of rain cover for the opening, the Max canopy. And the truck, I don't know if you can make it out, but that is the IceCo cooler in there. And right there is the tent of our hiking guests. That's right, for the first time, we have someone joining us today on our backpacking trip. We'll see how they like hiking with us and if they ever do it again. And look who finally got up. Elsa. And Mister. He's got a new coat today because we forgot his. And we had someone pick one up for him. Rugged Mountain's sister sporting the Fruit Loops coat. And Rugged Mountain Mama is cooking. We got a little bit of sun poking out, but I'm afraid it's not going to stay. And it's been drizzling the entire time. The gazelle's done good. I don't think we've had any leakage. This is a beautiful campground though. Hawn State Park Campground. We're in the basic camp area that doesn't have electricity, but there are sites that do. They also have a really nice bathhouse over there, which unfortunately does not open until next week. So the IceCo is doing a good job here. Got it down to 30 and 29 degrees in each compartment. And that has been running off of a Jackery 1000 watt power bank. So that has been keeping the refrigerator here running for about 16 hours or so. It recharged all of our electronics. I had 5 things charging inside the tent off of an extension cable running from the truck over to the tent. And here's where the power's at so far. So we're still at 79% battery, and we've got kind of 2 full days left. So we'll see how it does. The IceCo is on eco mode, which helps in some way, shape, or form to draw less power. So yeah, so far really happy with the IceCo and the Jackery. Now we may not be able to recharge the Jackery with the solar panels due to the constant cloud cover, but more importantly the rain, because even with cloud cover you can get some charge, but the solar panels are not good for getting wet. So we're wrapping up breakfast and then just going to chill a little bit, and later on we'll be leaving for the 11th ever backpacking endeavor. Well, we've made it back from our 11th ever backpacking endeavor. Back to base camp, just relaxing, got the packs off, feeling good. And so continuing on with our testing of our new gear for 2022, as you can see, we've got a bright and sunny day today. So I also get to test out the Solar Saga 100 watt solar panels. So we got those sitting out in the bright sunlight, and we are charging up the Jackery, or as Rugged Mountain Mama called it, the Jackaroo. So we got 89 watts coming in right now, only 7 going out. So it's odd, it does support pass-through charging, so you can be running something while it charges. But I read somewhere on the Jackery website that said that it reduces the life of the battery, reduces its recharge cycles when you do that. So I'm not sure if that's really a thing or how much it reduces it, but it's really hard to let it charge when it's supposed to be running the cooler the entire time. Another new piece of gear that I got to use for 2022 were the down booties. They did their job. I ended up sliding some those battery hot hands, like they heat up with their batteries, you can recharge things with them. Slid those down the booties because they didn't get as hot, so I wasn't worried about them, melting the fabric, but they helped out. Kept me nice and toasty last night. So another quick update on our testing of our new gear for 2022. We just had the solar panels out, charging this up over, 3 or 4 hours or so, and it got the Jackery back up to 79. So pretty happy with that. It's just sitting there sipping 4 watts. The wind here is absolutely insane. Anyway, so we're on eco mode, still keeping the IceCo cooler nice and cool. So the only other new piece of gear for 2022 that I have not mentioned yet was the DJI OM5. Right now, I'm on my old trusty Osmo 3, but all the way up until now and on our 11th ever backpacking endeavor, I have been using the OM5. And although generally speaking, I think I like the Osmo 3 a little bit better, this one isn't that bad. I haven't lost any shots due to it. I've been able to get a couple different kinds of shots with this. I really like this rig right here, and being able to fold this up to get it into my chest rig. I did that a few times when I went to fly the drone. Overall, pretty happy with the OM5. It'll do the job. There may be times when I might want to use the Osmo 3 instead, but it's good to have options. Well, good morning, you faithful few. We are on the morning of our last day here at Hawn State Park. This morning we woke up and found the Yermax up on the truck. I think we got a picture of that, put it in right here. Truck's undamaged, and the Yermax, as I said in my review of it, is a beast. It's fine. It just, two of the stakes came out, the wind gusted last night, put it up over, but it's just fine. So good piece of gear. I went out exploring an area. There's a pretty cool like youth tent area over here, so I went up and checked that out, and we're gonna just chill, enjoy some breakfast, and then start the pack up process. Getting all this back into the truck, super fun. And then we'll be heading on our way back home. We've got a glorious morning, clear blue skies, a little chilly, and the wind here is super odd. Like, it's calm most of the time, and then all of a sudden there's just a 30-mile-per-hour gust that, you know, knocks over canopies. So one last check-in on the new gear for 2022. On the IceCo, still keeping everything nice and cold. Drawing 26.3 volts. The Jackery has performed like a champ. It's down to 52%, and it's kept the IceCo running the entire time and recharged our electronics like at least 3 times. Gimbal, phones. I don't even know what the final number ended up being, and that was only with a 10% boost from the solar panels. As I mentioned, the OM5 did a pretty good job. I'm on it right now. The drone did magnificently. One piece of gear that I actually haven't mentioned yet that's new to us, first time use, is this sport rack over the bed cargo holder. Also have these Rhino Rack rails put into the slot of our Retrax aluminum hardcover. So this whole setup has worked fantastic. We had all of our backpacking gear up there, plus some extras, and then all of our car camping stuff in the bed, covered. Everything stayed nice and dry, and it stayed on for the whole 5 hours over, so that's a bonus. Rugged Mountain Mister is always in the truck and ready to go long before we are. But it only took us, I don't know, 3-4 hours to put everything away. But we're done, and we're ready to start the 5-hour trip back home. 6-hour trip. Oh yeah, we lose an hour. Yay. So, I want to thank you for joining us on this adventure. And you all, have a great day!